Hi guys, Carla back again for discussion board number 4. So the last one. Um, so what we got to reading was about the VR examples and discussion topics designing the digital world. So I'll just start. For the first question, how could reality technology be applied in your own life? How would you demonstrate their value? I would say how it could help with my own life would be like, I guess, fitness. Um, I mean, maybe there could be like a technology in VR, AR, wherever, and it's a headset, and I can immerse myself into like a Pilates class, a yoga class, or something in that nature, and I would be able to, take, I guess, be immersed into like an exercise routine. I wouldn't have to go all the way out to like downtown for a Pilates class or uptown for a yoga class. I could just do it in the comfort of my home. How I feel like we already have that in some way. Like there's these mirrors, or like I think Peloton has them, where it's these mirrors and you can like do yoga um in sessions with them, and they just, visually scan it. But yeah, I would say that's a great way to I mean, demonstrate their value. Um Question number 2, what ethical consideration do technologies present? I would say more like social impact. I feel like um we're I ever since the pandemic, I feel like we're more isolated, and I also like mental impact, because I feel like ever since that we're more isolated. I And not just because of VR, AR, it's just because we were in a lockdown. Um but with that, I would say it's it's causing more isolation. It's causing uh more mental health, because you feel more alone. And when you feel lonely, I feel like when humans feel lonely, it's more dangerous for said human to feel like they are a part of like society. And when they go out to actual society, they're overwhelmed by so much, when because they can't control all of it. But in virtual reality, there is a like sense of control. And I would say that would be an effect to mental health. So there would be like a disorientation with yourself, but also as a social impact. But yeah, that's for number 2. Number 3, what would you use VR to interact with a deceased person? Sorry, I read that wrong. Would you use VR to interact with a deceased person? Um, no. I personally, for my I would like mentally, I couldn't myself. I feel like that would hinder that would hinder me. That would stop me from evolving as a person, because I feel like, I don't know, it wouldn't be right in my opinion. As much as I'll miss the said person that I would want to talk to as a deceased person. I think it's it's okay to look back in memories, but I just don't think it's okay to keep talking to them like they're still alive. Like I think that would cause I would say that would make me look, not saying that for anybody else, but I feel like in my opinion that would make me look a little bit crazy, just because it's it's like me talking to a wall. And in public. Like I could talk to a wall at home and no one's looking. But if I'm talking a wall in person outside where people can see me, I feel like okay, that's causing concern, you know? So I don't think it'd be okay. And also, like I said, I think it would hinder me in my evolution just because when people die, we learn more about ourselves or we learn like what death is. So we become more like I feel like it helps us grow in a way, in like not yeah, I mean not in a happy way, I would say, but like it helps us understand what comes for us all eventually. Not to be weird, not to be like so pessimistic about it, but it's a way, it's a way. That's a really deep one. Um, Next question. What do you think will be the future of reality technology in 10, 20, or 100 years? Um, so I feel like we're already in the future of technology now. I mean, Apple just released like a headset. I I think it's a VR headset where it's basically your phone in the headset form and you're just touching buttons and you're FaceTiming with friends and all those things. So I think it's already here, in my opinion. We're already in the 10-year span. I think, but again, since if we're reaching for more, I feel like XR would be like really applied in like education and healthcare and entertainment. Um, just as the VR headset is already here. Um, it would I feel like it would educate a lot of us to go into remote work. So like being in a remote job, you'll be able to do it in a cubicle virtually. So you can work with others in a virtual headset, or you can even like um virtually be in a classroom. So the way attendance is taken is when you appear on the I guess the virtual classroom. But yeah, I feel like in some way that would be the new norm, but again, I'm like reaching for the stars out here. Um, yeah, and then number five, what effect do you think will the COVID-19 pandemic have on the development and use of reality technologies? Um, I feel like the COVID-19 pandemic forced like many people and socialized like people to be remote. And I feel like that sped up like the idea of AR, VR, MR technologies because like we weren't we weren't this like ready for technology. Like I feel what were we on for I feel in 2020 we were amazed like what we can do. Like people put up like Zooms and everything to be with each other and virtually like that. And so um I feel like we were losing a little connection, so people made like VR headsets, AR headsets to be somewhere else. So I yeah, I guess that's a way too. Um I feel like these spaces will continue to evolve. Uh, it can be applied to education and just seeing like again, like I said, I'm a I'm a bird at this point. Um, can we can expect more in virtual classrooms and interact learning experiences in the future, I guess. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I have for today. Thank you. Have a nice semester, guys.